All right, so I am live again. I apologize. Technology, you love it and you hate it at the same time. All right, so previously there were some technical glitches, and so I had to end the live early. So let me resume. Actually, I'm going to start from the very beginning, right? So um, the challenge today's topic is the challenges of running or managing multiple businesses, and here's my tips for success, right? Because it is through my own uh, obstacles and failures, and these are some of the tips that help me to overcome those challenges, right? Um, I met so many business owners that or solopreneurs, right? That from all the people that I've met, this is the common traits or things that I've noticed, right? Number one is most entrepreneurs have multiple business or ideas. They have so many things that they want to accomplish. Number two, um, they're driven and passionate people, and that's one of the things I really, really enjoy working with, entrepreneurs and small business owners, right? And then number three, they have visions for what they want to accomplish, right? But I think most of the time, including for myself, it's the lack of follow through, right? And number four, um, we tend to generally put a lot of goals, a lot of things on our plate, and not go through with them all, right? And that's what happens a lot of times when you are trying to plan for next year and you write all these things down, and at the end of the year you feel like, oh man, I haven't done any of those things that I wanted to do this year, right? We're all on the same journey. Number five is, at the end of the day, we're all on the same journey. We have different destinations, but we're majority of us have, I think, on the same journey, um, to be successful as entrepreneurs. And so here's my tip. Success tip number one is so hard to do. I think this is really, really hard to do. Is to have focus and clarity on that one thing and commit to one thing, right? Um, that is really, really hard because there's so many things you want to accomplish. There's so many, and you don't know sometimes which way, which direction you want to go. So it's really important to be focused and have clarity, right? I know a lot of people, they want to start their own business, and you may be in your job, right? And what are you going to do? And so, tip number two, when it comes to tip number one, is really having focus and clarity, right? So, tip number two is building systems and teams around tips number one, right? On that one thing, right? I'll take, for example, entrepreneur Ben. He's recently come back to us, right? I worked with him a while back, and now he's come back to us, and he's a very successful. He's a real producer, doing mid six figures, um, as in real estate, right? He's an investor. He's a hard money lender, and he does mortgages, right? And so he has these multiple streams of income, but he doesn't have systems. He's doing everything himself, and that's one of the things that I'm helping him to really streamline, and that's to build systems and a team around his business model, right? All of his various things. And so you need to have clarity and focus in what you want to achieve. So that's, number one, what are you looking to achieve, and what is your you know because even when you're even building out the systems and teams, you can't build systems and teams for all three of them all at once. It's going to drive you crazy. So you have to focus on that one thing, right? And then success tip number three is seeking help and coaching, right? I'm not here to sell my coaching or my what we do it as a service, because even for me, I seek help, right? And I didn't, like, it didn't really hit me until later on, because um, let's take for example, like video editing, right? I can do simple video editing, and so if you look at my YouTube channel right now, a lot of the videos that I'm pushing out, which is a couple of minutes, they're very simple, like intro and I talk through certain features of Go High Level or and like this live video. Um, when it comes to really editing a video, like if the recent video that I did of my 20-year journey, that editing that video, that would have took me a long time. And so I had my video editor do that because at the end of the day, it's easier for her to do that because that's not my superpower, right? But I used to do it before. All the editing of the videos I used to do before. But then at a certain point, I realized it's not the best use of my time, and so I got somebody. I sought help. I needed help, and so I got somebody. And the same thing is applied to coaching, right? If I need help with certain things, I get coaching, right? 2 years ago, I wanted to learn Facebook ads, right? And so um, I got coaching through Peng Joon, um, even though, you know, it solidified some of the things that I knew basically about Facebook ads, right? And now I know better. Um, Even though right now I'm not implementing a lot of Facebook ads because right now most of my content is local SEO and SEO driven content, but I wanted to learn more about it. And so I spent a couple of $1,000s and I got coaching for what I wanted to achieve, right? And um, another example of why it's so important to build a team and asking for help. Um, um, so my prime example is my manager currently right now. My manager um, is Becky, right? And she is a person that's very opposite of who what I do. I'm very like I'm driven by vision and I'm driven let's do this, let's do that. And she's more of the follow through. Like let's make sure we finish this before we move on to this, right? So we clash a lot of times, but you need that type of person, right? Um, Another example, the way I learn things is by examples. I don't know about you, but that's the way I learn. Um, Another example is a recent customer client of ours is Sherry, and she's the owner of Calidad Grills down in Florida. And I saw her like trying to build her own website as a business owner, right? You trying to build your own website is not the best use of your time, right? That you're not working on your business, you're working in your business. You know, the time that you spend on building, like trying to work out, building a website, that to me, I did that before. Don't get me wrong, I did that before. I know I built my own website previously. Um, but lesson learned, that's not the best use of your strength, right? You got to find out what your strengths are in your business, and not even let's say strength, but you got to work on your business, which means sales and marketing should be your number one priority, not necessarily working on your website. That's just busy work that that's makes you feel good, but at the end of the day it's not going to make you money for your business, right? So so those are really the three tips that I would say, when it comes to how to manage multiple business. Because tip number one is focus on that one, right? That doesn't mean that you focus on that one for, even though you have other things that you want to achieve. But once you build systems and teams around that one thing, then that gives you the freedom to go and pursue the other things that you want to do, right? Because when you let your gas off of that one thing, and you don't have a system and a team built around that, what's going to happen is that you're going to lose income and you're going to lose what momentum that you've created. And so I see this many, many times. And that's not even just multiple business. We're talking about also marketing, any type of thing that you're doing within your business. If you have like multiple things going on in that one business, you're going to lose momentum, right? And so that's why even when we're talking about marketing, we're talking about certain things in your business also is you got to limit the number of things you're doing in your business, because if you don't build systems and team around that, or then you're going to end up not um, fully uh, what would you call it, I guess. Let's just say, for example, you decided you want to do, like in my case, I recently started going to uh, physical events because of my new software platform. So before I commit to it, I'm going to build a system around that, so that way that all I have to do is show up to the event, and then I have the systems and the team around it, so that I can do it over and over again, right? So that's just within that one business and building a system, and so it's more, in order for you to scale any business from beginning, at the very beginning, everybody's on different stages of their business, and so you have to really figure out where you are. And if you and success number tip three is, in seeking help and coaching and or coaching. Sometimes you don't know what you don't know, and so it is important that you can, if you can afford it, right? Sometimes it's gonna hurt, right? So I know, like, when speaking with Ben, I told him, look, when you need to hire somebody at a certain point, I know it's gonna hurt you, because that's gonna, cut into your income. But think of that as an investment and not necessarily an expense. It's an investment in your ability to scale and grow. All right. All right. So I hope this was helpful. I am not going to be around next week. So our no live next week. Um, I may go live on Saturday. That's when I'm coming back from my ski trip with my kids, and maybe I'll just go live and just do a general topic, or I may just take it easy until the next year in January. So next time you'll see me is in January, but I will still be posting stuff on video, but I just won't go live until the first week of January. All right. Happy holidays, everybody, and Happy New Year. All right. Bye.